Hey everyone, welcome back to our Mevo live stream coverage here at the 2017 Twin Cities Film Fest, hosted by the Shops at West End and the beautiful Showplace Icon Theater. We are here on our presenting sponsor, Fleurdejunk Red Carpet. I'm your host tonight, Doug Sidney, and we are stepping already into the feature part of our evening tonight, and we have a great one. It's funny, it's touching, it's cute, it's offbeat, it's so many things. It's a feature, it's called Blue Balloons, and this is our director, Emily Troedson. She's here, she's a Minnesota native. She moved away, but we're gonna talk about that. But she's back here tonight to talk about the film. You have an entire room full of cast and crew. That's so awesome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
So you have a very unique and special take on a big part of many, many lives. Talk to us about that. Talk to us about your subject matter.
Yeah, so Blue Balloons is about a young adult caregiver who moves back home to care for her mother who's going through cancer treatment. And it's definitely a very personal story for me. I was a caregiver myself for my mother several years ago during her cancer treatment. So based on that experience, I just felt really compelled to tell this story because I felt that a young adult caregiver perspective was something that was just common and needed to be told, and I felt would really resonate with an audience. So, and
you do it in such a, like I mentioned, quirky, cute, offbeat, comedic way. What influenced you wanting to tell the story in that regard?
Yeah, so I think that whenever somebody's going through cancer or terminal illness, there's sort of a lot of absurdity that you kind of experience. There's sort of the reality that you're feeling, but then there's also the experience that you kind of tend to check out, you imagine things, maybe you kind of fantasize about fantastical elements or something. I remember one time I was in a clinic and there was this Christmas music playing, like Jingle Bells, but there I was in the clinic for radiation. So there's absurd elements like that it's like trying to find that blend between, what's such a bizarre and hard experience, but then also there are like random humorous things that happen that you're like, okay, and now Jingle Bells is playing while I'm in the middle of radiation. So that sort of element.
And I would imagine that there are many traces of your own comedic style, your own personal slice of comedy that have resonated into this. You wrote the script, yes?
I did, yes.
Okay, so talk to us about that. I mean, you write what you know, and obviously it's being very well received.
Yes.
Everyone else thinks you're funny also, so talk about that.
Thank you. Well, that's great. I don't actually have a comedic background. My background was actually as a teacher, but I think that experience of sort of working with youth really helped equip me with the idea of making something that seems heavy and maybe overbearing, but then bringing the element that is humorous to sort of make it safe so that people feel like they can be comfortable with the things that they might be afraid of.
Was it a true reflection of the relationship that you had with your mother? A lot of the things that are present in your characters in the film?
Well, it is a story of fiction. So our main actor, Sherry Ekman, who you'll see in just a minute, she brought such strength and vulnerability and cheerfulness to it, and I think that building that relationship is what really mattered. So
and that creates compelling storytelling, and so does finding an awesome cast. So talk to us, I think most of your cast is here. Sherry's amazing, we all know. Talk to us about the supporting players as well.
So Twin Cities has fantastic cast here. I am so lucky. Samaritan Casting was actually one of the agencies that helped us, and George Brust, who plays Henry, Sue Gerver, who plays Nancy, Jim Westcott, Ellen Engelson. They are all just, the heart and beat of this movie, really, because they brought so much of themselves, and they were so vulnerable, and they had such great attitudes every day. So we could not have done it without them.
Talk to us about your ability as a filmmaker, because you're a young gal, and your cast has more life experience, and that is I mean this in the best possible way. So you've really found a touchstone in being able to relate to a wide spectrum of the lifespan spectrum. Talk to us about that.
Yes, well, I don't think age is really ever a factor for doing anything. So So, and I've actually been doing this for about 12 years now, so I'm quite experienced. And, you know, even though this was my first feature film, I did work for a production company before, and that was a very valuable experience in learning, you know, just the foundation that needs to be built in order to have a successful low-budget production. So I think that if people are inspired to do something, experience and age should not hold them back.
I 110% agree. Very well said.
Emily.
Have other audiences seen the film? Is this the premiere?
This is the world premiere, so we're thrilled.
Have you had, yes, awesome. And have you had feedback from family, other filmmakers that you've shown it to? What's been reaction?
Well, I think a lot of people have felt, no problem. I think a lot of people have felt that for me, even though it comes out of a personal experience, I really wanted it to ring true for other people. So, I mean, I have been so moved by the way people have opened up after they've watched it, sharing their own stories, you know, just telling how they were moved by seeing it. So I hope that, you know, even tonight we just keep pushing that further.
You're on the onset of that because you have a whole theater of people that are going to see it tonight. Emily Troedson, her film Blue Balloons is premiering tonight at the 2017 Twin Cities Film Fest. We need to get all these people in here so they can enjoy this. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be back here on our Evo live stream at the 2017 Twin Cities Film Fest.